Let's say China.
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 There are no storm movers, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
You go over to China.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Trump's statement, tweeting out insult to Angela Merkel. What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host.
Yes. Hello, and welcome. I am James Andrews, and you are listening to So This Happened, the only news you need if you have a Pentagon, and if that Pentagon accidentally calls for you to resign. It is Friday, the 17th of November 2017, and today, just that happened. The Pentagon retweeted a tweet calling for Donald Trump to resign. The tweet was not up for very long, they took it down, but the original tweet called for the resignation of Donald Trump because of allegations of sexual harassment. The entire tweet read, "The solution is simple. Roy Moore, step down from the race. Al Franken, resign from Congress. Donald Trump, resign from the presidency. GOP, stop making sexual assault a partisan issue. It's a crime, as is your hypocrisy." Now, when the Department of Justice removed the retweet, they then sent out a notification saying that an unauthorized operator had sent the tweet. I'm not sure does that worry anybody else that somebody who's just not authorized at all to use something in the Department of Defense was able to just sort of walk in there and go, yeah, let me just get on the official Department of Defense Twitter account and just send that. Now, the DOT has since started to make jokes about it, and they sent a tweet out saying that there has been no coup, the president is safe, which, yeah, that's quite funny, but what is not funny is that somebody who was not authorized to use something at the Department of Defense was able to use it. But hey, it gave us something to talk about for a little bit on Friday anyway, didn't it? So it's not all bad news. And in news which is bad for everybody except Donald Trump Jr. and that other fuckwit's son, the Trump administration is planning to reverse a ban on importing the remains of endangered elephants. These are creatures that are beautiful, smart, much more intelligent than the current occupant of Pennsylvania Avenue, and now they can be hunted for entertainment, and the trophies, which is what they call the head or the tusks or whatever the fuck they bring back of the elephant, can now be brought back into the United States. And to that, we say...
Go ahead.
Hey Trump, fuck you. Hey Trump, fuck you.
How stupid are the people of Iowa?
Fuck you. Hey Trump, fuck you. Hey Trump.
I know more about ISIS than the general.
Hey Trump, fuck you. Hey Trump, fuck you.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
Hey Trump, fuck you.
Well, yes, indeed. And in a tweet today that may have been the most hypocritical since that very famous tweet was sent all the way back in 1943, which read, from @Real Adolf Hitler, just found out that @Winston Churchill called a Jewish man a penny pincher. Disgusting. Sad. The tweet from today comes from, well, yes, you've probably guessed it, none other than Donald Trump, and his read, "The Al Frankenstein picture is really bad. Speaks 1,000 words. Where do his hands go in pictures 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 while she sleeps?" Now that tweet is of course referring to the photographs which came out of Al Franken back in 2006 when he was on an ISO tour, and there is a lady there in full battle gear and bulletproof vests, and Al Franken is sort of having his hands above where her boobs would be and giving a big cheesy grin at the camera. It's kind of a creeper thing to do, to be honest, and it's definitely not going to win Al Franken any fans. It's definitely stupid. Does it fall under sexual harassment? Well, debatable, I suppose. But besides showing the complete illiteracy of Donald Trump when he refers to Al Frankenstein, and he spelt that wrong to start with, but what he's trying to say there is that Al Franken is a monster. Of course, we all know that Frankenstein wasn't actually the monster. He created the monster. It was Frankenstein's monster, not Dr. Frankenstein himself. But that aside, the hypocrisy of this tweet is staggering. Donald Trump has said nothing about Roy Moore and the allegations made against him. Also, he said nothing about the allegations made against him, except that it was fake news. And just to remind you, here's some of the things that the Commander-in-Chief has said about women.
You wouldn't have your job if you weren't beautiful. It's very sad.
Must be a pretty picture you dropped into.
And I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face.
She's gotten a little bit large. I don't think you should dress like you weigh 120 pounds.
I don't want to sound too much like a chauvinist, but when I come home and dinner's not ready, I go through the roof.
A person who's flat-chested is very hard to be a 10.
She ate like a pig.
You could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
The boob job is terrible. You know, they look like two light posts coming out of a body.
Is unattractive both inside and out. I fully understand why her former husband left her for a man.
Maybe she should feel that way.
There are a lot of women out there that, demand that the husband act like the wife.
I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
She's really a beautiful baby. She's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell.
What happens if Marla gained this kind of weight? Would you drop her?
I'd say start working out.
I have no respect for her. I don't think she's very good.
I would say she's in the 4 or 5 category. I like the way she used to look. I don't like the way she looks now.
There are 2 other women now who claim that there'd been sexual harassment.
They probably do love their names splashed across the front pages. You say, oh, hello, darling, how are you? And you get sued because you've destroyed somebody's life. It's ridiculous.
You have a young woman that was in his room, his hotel room, late in the evening at her own will. You have a young woman who was seen dancing for the beauty contest, dancing with a big smile on her face.
Planned Parenthood should absolutely be defunded.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah.
Do you think she felt pressure to come back after 3 weeks?
I don't think so. I think she loves her job.
She wouldn't have felt a need to do that because you might have replaced her otherwise.
No, although it's an interesting premise.
I have been better to women than any of these candidates, frankly.
And of course, we can't forget about this.
I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. Whoa. I did try and fuck her. She was married.
That's huge news there.
No, Nancy.
Yeah.
No, this was marriages. And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married. Then all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
Pull the hell.
Yeah, we've all heard that 1,000 times, but I think it's good to remind us just exactly who the President of the United States is. Now, I'm not excusing Al Franken's behaviour. It's boorish, I think, and the way he's smiling at the camera, he was doing it for a bit of a gag, and he didn't make any contact. You can see the shadow from, where his hand is onto the bulletproof vest that this lady was wearing, and it should be noted that the person that is accusing him is Leanne Tweeden, and she's a Republican, and she's very pro-Donald Trump. She's said that on many occasions. Good friends with Sean Hannity as well. And Al Franken did come out immediately with an apology on Twitter, which I think actually it's quite a good apology as far as these things go. He didn't make any excuses. He didn't say, I don't remember it. He just said, I am sorry. But the hypocrisy is staggering on this. Fox News, Sean Hannity, all of those chaps have jumped all over this saying, Al Franken, look at him, he's a fucking rapist, he's disgusting. Yet when they heard the tape of Donald Trump, they just said, oh, that's just locker room talk. We all do that. You know, we all talk about grabbing ladies' bits. It's just normal. But, you know, pretending to grab boobs while smiling at the camera of someone wearing a full bulletproof vest, that's rape. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Vile. And for Donald Trump to tweet about this when he's remained essentially silent on Roy Moore beyond saying, I don't vote in Alabama and the people of Alabama will have to figure that one out, I think we have to say, once again,
Hey Trump, fuck you. Hey Trump, fuck you.
How stupid are the people of Iowa?
Fuck you. Hey Trump, fuck you. Hey Trump.
I know more about ISIS than the general.
Hey Trump, fuck you. Hey Trump, fuck you.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
Hey Trump, fuck you.
And once more, for the record, I am not excusing Al Franken's behaviour. It was inappropriate. Whether it was sexual assault, I'm not sure on that one. But for all the Republican senators who are calling for Al Franken to resign, they need to look at their commander-in-chief and also call for his resignation. If they don't, then they are absolute hypocrites. But wait a second, I'm talking about politicians, so I'll carry on, I suppose. But it's not just politicians who are being massively hypocritical on this. Today, Kellyanne Conway, heroine Barbie, was asked why the president hadn't responded to Roy Moore accusations, but was jumping all over Al Franken. And this is what she came up with.
Well, Al Franken was a brand new news story yesterday, and the president weighed in, as he does on the news of the day, often enough. The Roy Moore story is 8 days old, and the president put out a statement during his Asia trip on that. And since then, our press secretary has spoken on behalf of the president that he believes the people of Alabama will sort out what to do with Roy Moore and with that election.
And I apologise for the audio glitch there. I'm not sure what happened. The story came from Fox News, so I'm not making any judgment or accusation, but that's where it came from. There was an audio glitch. It's weird. And Kellyanne said there at the end, it's up to the people of Alabama. And people of Alabama, come on, sort your fucking lives out. Right now, Roy Moore is only trailing by 8 points. 8 points! I mean, come on, we can do better than this. A man that is accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl, you're okay with that? You know what? Let's move on to some happy news because it's Friday and we always have to end on something happy. So, today's piece of good news comes all the way from China. An energy company based in Hong Kong has built a solar panel plant in the shape of a giant panda. The 248-acre panda will be able to produce I'm laughing because I'm looking at this thing. It's awesome, but it's cross-eyed. If you go look at the photograph, it's actually a cross-eyed panda. He looks a bit dazed and confused, but it's spectacular anyway. Anyway, the panda is able to produce 3.2 billion kilowatt hours of solar energy in 25 years, and that will, according to the company, eliminate 2.74 million tons of carbon emissions, which would have been caused if this big-ass panda was not around. So that's absolutely spectacular, and you really should just go Google solar-powered panda plant because it is awesome. It's cross-eyed. Someone messed up a little bit there, I think, because it is really cute, and then it looks like it got hit by something. Oh, that sort of look. Anyway, we are out of time for the week. It's been a great week. It's been short because we only did the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and unfortunately, we're off all next week. And I hope that everybody, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, have a wonderful week, get to see some family, some friends, eat lots of food, but not turkeys because, well, we're all vegans here at So This Happens, so don't eat any turkeys. There are plenty of other substitutes, and then it's good for your karma. If you'd like to continue this or any of the other conversations on Twitter or Facebook or anywhere else, you can do that. You can visit the website, sothishappensshow.com, where you can listen to past episodes. And please remember to subscribe and review the show on iTunes. We love that, love the reviews, and it really does help the show out in the ratings. So we appreciate that enormously. Anyway, everybody take care. Have a wonderful week next week. I will miss you all a little bit. Okay? All right. Take care. Good night. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hey, Trump. Fuck you. Hey, Trump. Fuck you.
How stupid are the people of Iowa?
Fuck you. Hey, Trump. Fuck you. Hey, Trump.
I know more about ISIS than the general.
Hey, Trump. Fuck you. Hey, Trump. Fuck you.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
Hey, Trump.